Very good afternoon, children. Myself, L.K. Tripathi, your SST teacher from LPM Public School. Dear children, as we are discussing about chapter 2 of geography, that is physical features of India. This is the second video of the discussion. So, in this video, we shall start the new topic, that is some highland peaks of the Himalayas. What are they? Himalaya is a young full mountain, as you know. It has the rugged terrain. Many peaks are there. The highest peak in the world it deserves, that is Mount Everest. In India, that is K2, that is Kanchenjunga. Something smaller than the highest peak of Himalaya. Now, let's go ahead. That is peak country height in meter. So, the highest peak, that is the Mount Everest of Himalaya, located in Nepal. The height is in meter, that is 8,848 meters. Kanchenjunga, that is located in India, its height is 8,598 meters. Makalu, that is also located in Nepal, it has the height up to 8,481 meters. Dhaulagiri, it is also in Nepal, 8,172 meters. Nanga Parbat, that is in India, 8,126 meters. Annapurna, Nepal, 8,078 meters. Nanda Devi, that is also in India, 7,817 meters. Kamet, India, 7,756 meters. Namcha Barwa, India, 7,756 meters. Gurla Mandhata, Nepal, 7,728 meters. So, this is the peaks of Himalaya located in India as well as Nepal. The folds of Great Himalayas are asymmetrical in nature. The core of this part of Himalayas is composed of granite. It is perennially snowbound, and a number of glaciers descend from this range. At the highest peak of the Himalaya, different glaciers are there, and the core of this mountain is made up of granite. That is, there is perennial snow, means all time snow is there, always 12 months covered from the snow. A number of glaciers are found due to the huge and heavy snow fall there. The range lying to the south of the Himadri forms the most rugged mountain system and is known as Himachal or Lesser Himalaya. Three ranges of Himalaya is there. First is Himadri, that is Greater Himalaya. Second is Himachal, that is Lesser Himalaya. And third is Shivalik, that is Lower Himalaya. The ranges are mainly composed of highly compressed and altered rocks. The altitude varies between 3,700 and 4,500 meters, and the average width is of 50 kilometers. While the Pir Panjal range forms the longest and the most important range. Pir Panjal, that is the northwestern part of Himalaya near Jammu and Kashmir. It has the longest and the most important range, that is the Dhauladhar and the Mahabharat ranges. There are also prominent ones. This range consists of the famous valley of Kashmir, the Kangla and Kullu Valley in Himachal Pradesh. This is also the part of Himalaya. They are famous hill stations where people go in summer to enjoy there, to visit this place. Really, there is scenic beauty of the nature we can experience there. The outermost range of the Himalaya is called the Shivalik. That is outermost part. Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. Lower Himalaya, that is also known. They extend over a width of 10 to 50 kilometers and have an altitude varying between 900 and 1100 meters. The width of this range, this area is 10 to 50 kilometers and altitude varies between 900 to 1100 meters. Means its height above the sea level is up to here, maximum up to 1100 meters. These ranges brought down by rivers from the main Himalayan ranges located farther north. These valleys are covered with thick gravel and alluvium. Most fertile area is this, rich in soil, fertility is very good. The longitudinal valley lying between Lesser Himalayan and the Shivaliks are known as dunes. Different types of dunes are there in the lower Himalaya, that is Shivalik. Likewise, Dehradun, Kotli Dune and Patli Dune are some of the well-known dunes. Besides the longitudinal divisions, the Himalayas have been divided on the basis of regions from west to east. These divisions have been demarcated by river valleys. For example, the part of Himalayas lying between Indus and Satluj has been traditionally known as Punjab Himalaya, but it is also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal. Himalaya from west to east respectively. This is very clear. The part of Himalaya which lying between Indus and Satluj, that is traditionally known as Punjab Himalaya. But there is something difference. It is also known regionally as Kashmir and Himachal. It is from west to east respectively. The stage of this range is from west to east. The part of the Himalayas lying between Satluj and Kali rivers is known as Kumaon Himalayas. The Kali and Tista rivers demarcate the Nepal Himalaya, and the part lying between Tista and Dihang rivers is known as Assam Himalayas. There are regional names also in these broad categories. Find out some regional names of the Himalayas. What are they? The Brahmaputra marks the easternmost boundary of the Himalayas. Beyond the Dihang, George, the Himalayas bend sharply to the south and spread along the eastern boundary of India. They are known as the Purvachalur, the eastern hills and mountains. These hills running through the northeastern states are mostly composed of strong sandstones, which are sedimentary rocks covered with dense forest. They mostly run as parallel ranges and valleys. The Purvachal comprises the Patkai Hills, the Naga Hills, Manipur Hills, and the Mizo Hills. Now the Northern Plains. Northern Plains is the area where we live that is known as the most fertile region of the country, rich in alluvium. Different types of rivers flow from this side. After having discussion, we shall get much more about the northern plains. The northern plain has been formed by the interplay of the three major river systems, namely the Indus, the Ganga, and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. This plain is formed of alluvial soil. The deposition of alluvium is a vast basin lying at the foothills of the Himalaya over millions of years formed this fertile plain. It spreads over an area of 7 lakh square kilometers. The plain being about 2,400 kilometers long and 240 to 320 kilometers broad is a densely populated physiographic division. With a rich soil cover combined with adequate water supply and favorable climate, it is agriculturally a very productive part of India. The rivers coming from northern mountains are involved in depositional work in the lower course. Due to the gentle slope, the velocity of the river decreases, which results in the formation of riverine island. The rivers in their lower course split into numerous channels due to the deposition of silt. These channels are known as distributaries. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections. The western part of the northern plain is referred to as the Punjab Plains, formed by the Indus and its tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Chenab, the Ravi, the Beas, means Byas, and the Satluj originate in the Himalaya. This section of the plain is dominated by the Doabs. The Ganga plain extends between Ghaggar and Tista rivers. It is spread over the states of North India, Haryana, Delhi, UP, Bihar, partly Jharkhand and West Bengal to its east, particularly in Assam, lies the Brahmaputra plain. The northern plains are generally described as flatland with no variations in its relief. It is not true. These vast plains also have diverse relief features. According to the variations in relief features, the northern plains can be divided into four regions, that is, the rivers, after descending from the mountains, deposits pebble in a narrow belt of about 8 to 16 km in width, lying parallel to the slopes of the Shivaliks. It is known as Bhabbar. All the streams disappear in this Bhabbar belt. South of this belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy region known as Tarai. This was a thickly forested region full of wildlife. The forests have been cleared to create agricultural land and to shuttle migrants from Pakistan after partition. So, up to here we have discussed. Next, we shall discuss in the next video. Till then, revise your tasks carefully. Thank you. Have a nice day.